Welcome back. Today I'm building a nest box for a pair of blue and gold macaws. And what I have here is where's my tape measure? Is an inside air handler. It's an old one. I took all the guts out of it. And the measurements are 34.5 by 17.5 by 21.5. So what I mean, it's big enough for them. I got a bigger one. It's even bigger than this. And they were free. I didn't pay nothing for them. The material, all the material I'm using, I got for free, somehow or another. Okay, as you can see, inside I kind of did a little more before I started the video. I wasn't for sure if I was going to do it. All the sharp edges and everything, I pounded down or ground it off with a grinder. You can buy a grinder at Harbor Freight for like $35. And I bit a bunch of other stuff. And what I'm going to show you, I got for free out the dumpster from where my wife was going to college. This is from a chiller. It's pretty thick. I mean, it's an inch thick and it's already insulated, so I'm using this. You don't really have to use this. I'm using what's available to me that I got for free. If you gotta buy it, you go a different route. And as you can see here, that's coil stock that I got for free. You can buy a roll of it right there. It's 2 foot by 100 foot. You get it at a vinyl siding wholesale. But I just happen to use it, and some actual duct tape because this box will be outside. So I'm trying to seal it in and everything else. This here, the air handler, it's about 1/2 inch thick. It's hollow. It's not like the piece I just showed you. It'll still hold some heat in because you'll have the air in between as an insulator. But I'll probably do some more stuff to it later, but right now I'm just trying to get it to where I can put them out before they go to lay in. I missed the time. And I have these here to have the grommets in them. The metal roofing screws that have the grommets. When you go to screwing stuff in, you just want to do it on the edges here where the hollowness is. But you'll see, you get the idea as you go to do it. I'm just showing you what you can use for it. So this ain't gonna be no gigantic long ass video of how to, but you get the idea. And if I come across something that I need to show you, then I'll add it to this video. So it's not real ungodly long. But I'll show you the finished product after just what little bit of stuff that I used that I didn't pay for. Oh, I did pay for the duct tape. And you're going to notice you'll have the other side of it that's completely open from where the air is pulled in. And the top part there is where the air is blown out up through the trunk line. So what I did was, because walk up here and notice, well, there's little tracks here where something can slide in and this in. Just walk over here anyway. As you can see, there's little track lines, and so what I did to solve that problem was I cut me from the chiller. I got a bunch of these pieces, like I said, that was free, and I cut it. But what you don't want to do is have the cut in sticking down where the bird's going to be. And since this is my floor for the birds, this end is going to go that way with the insulation facing outward. Or no, actually no, flip that around. Put this at the bottom and the other at the top, just in case they're able to grab it. They can't grab it that way. I had it right the first time I did. I just didn't do it this time. So all I'm going to do is slide this in such, like this. Okay, and make sure that there ain't no insulation down there that can come across or anything. So, good to go. You know what? I'm gonna switch it the other way. That way I can screw in from the bottom. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put screws on the side here. And since it's gonna be on my bottom, I'm gonna flip it around. But you can do either one. I'm just doing this because of what I got. That way, because I don't have the piece out here that goes to this. For the outside where these screws are, I don't have that, so I gotta redo it another way. But you get the idea. You put the insulation there. If it's staying inside, then you ain't gotta worry about it. But if you're putting it outside, you need to take a piece of that coil sock that I showed you and go along the lines here and what have you, and seal it in with the duct tape. Alright, I'm now to the point. I've got everything else laid out on this. I figured out or whatever. I cut me a box, and this is 8 inches by 7 inches. 8 inches left to right, 7 inches top to bottom. That's big enough for the Macaws. And as you can see, I kind of cut it in an X. Well, there's a real good reason why I did that. So I'm not trying to glue nothing or trying to make anything stay. As you can see, I just took this and I bent it over like so. So that way they can't cut themselves on it. And I'll bend this here like so. So they can't cut themselves that way. I'll fix it and everything, but you get the idea. You cut the first piece out because this is a double wall, like I said. You cut the first piece out, the green stuff, cut you a little square out, and you'll be alright. Then you go back with the grinder and you cut that X like that. You don't want to do them both pieces. As you can see, this is green and the other inside is galvanized. You want to fold it out like such. I'm going to pound it off the rest of the way with a hammer, but you get the idea of how to do it. That way when they walk on it, they won't cut their talons and everything. But when I'm done, you'll see it'll look really cool when I'm done. And now as you can see, I got it hammered down. And I've cut off the edges, and I've shaved the burrs and the sharpness. I'm leaving this like this because what I'm going to do is, I didn't leave this one, but the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to take the wire of the cage and I'm going to cut it perfectly to about right here. Right there, a little bit in. So that way the wire from the cage will push that like that. Because I'm going to use something to help hold it. I'm thinking about putting a piece of wood in there too. I'm not for sure yet if that's what I'm going to do or not, but that's what I'm thinking about doing. Putting a piece of wood in here for a perch. And also kind of a steady thing too, because I'm gonna have a thing of wooden clutch out there. I'm not too sure yet, but we're gonna play along with it. And I'm gonna see how I'm gonna do this out of curiosity. I might do something different. I might take one of my concrete perches and stick it out here. I don't know yet. I'm still up in the air about it, but that's how it is right now, and that's how indecisive I am. See, this video could have been a lot longer. Stuff's laid out and cut and everything's squared. And it's gonna look cool. The bolts I was gonna use were these. Didn't work. So luckily I had some U-bolts laying around because I used something that I found on the side of the road. It's square channel. It's galvanized and it's thick. It's like 1/8 of an inch thick. It's heavy. Again, it was free. I'm using it. You can use U-channel. You can go buy it, or you can use this. I'm using this because it was free. Now, if you're wanting to do it, that's going to last a lifetime, or at least the life of the bird, or the life of you going to do it, I'd buy this. I didn't know where to buy it, or I'd have bought it before I found it on the side of the road. I don't know where to get it. I guess the a sign place where I live, I don't know where to get it. If I was where I'm from, I could have got it real quick because there's a sign place that I used to work for that carried it. Or you can use fence posts, whichever, but I'm using this. All right, so I did that. I stuck a little bolt there because, as you can see, I made a little thing for him to climb up, and the U-bolt is on the outside of it, and I got a nut here, 2 nuts there, so when I go to mount this to this square channel, I ain't gonna have a problem. Wanted to show you this before I seal it up, because there's my lid, and I might have messed up putting that little ladder thing in there, but it ain't nothing that I can't fix. When you put something like this to hold it, this is protruding out, so I'm not worried about that. But this won't be right here. So you need to take and booger up the threads, because you don't want to be able to bird to unscrew it and pull it all the way out, because they might not get out of the box. I'm betting they can climb up and out the door, but I just put something just to make sure. And I boogered up the threads, so even if they loosen it a little bit, they're not taking it off. So that's where that's at. All right, now I'm ready to watertight it. I got my coil stock that I was telling you about. I got these. These are the good ones. The other ones I was just using to do what I needed to do at the moment. But now that I'm ready to watertight it, as you're putting this together, however you're doing it, because like I said, you're gonna have open spaces. You need to use these roofing screws that have the rubber bushings on them that keeps the water out. You don't want to squish them too tight, but you don't want to have them too loose either. Especially on the I gotta move this. Especially on that side where the bird comes, where the bird can see them. God damn it! I'll get to it in a second. Right there. That's the bird side. This is the outside. That's going to be exposed to the weather and not under nothing. So I'm going to go around and do what I need to do and watertight it. I also got me some sealant too, because you're going to need it to seal this. And this had rubber on it. If you get one of these and the rubber's all the way around it and the rubber looks good, don't mess with it. Just screw the screws into it and be done with it, because they're designed to be air and watertight. So that way none of the water comes out of it and none of the air comes out of it. That's what the gasket's for. If it's kind of half-assed, or if you plan on keeping it forever outside, take and peel it off or grind it off and get you some heavy-duty sealant that's good for outside. I mean, this box here, when it's done, it's going to be able to use in the damn up north in 12-degree weather when I'm done with this damn thing. It don't need to be that way, but the material was free. So, well, except for me buying this and me buying them. I bought this for another project, so I had some extra, so that's what I'm doing. That right there was bought for the project, and some nuts and washers. But if you can get it, you get everything you can for free. I'm going to get out. Alright, this is going to be the last little video thing until it's completely done. I just want to show you how I did this real quick. It ain't nothing to it. I took and I used that stock, that coil stock I was telling you about, and those roofing screws. And all I did was I went around the box. At the end of each one, I took my foot and put on it like that. And if you notice, it puts pressure and it tightens this up to where it's like a damn drum. And I did that. I started with the front first, and then I did all the way to the top here. I started there and ended there. I went there, and then I stopped there, and then I flipped it over to where it is now. And then I went back to the front and went down, because you always start where it's low, where it's flush with it. And then I went down to that way, and now I got one more set to do. I'm gonna tuck it up under here a little bit. Since I got a lot of screws, I really don't care. I'll just kind of tuck it up under here, because this is right there, it's underneath the box. And as you can tell, it's sealed fairly nicely. Alright, I'm getting ate up by gnats, so I want to hurry and get this done. Alright, now because I found me another U-bolt, I took the U-bolt and I drilled it through here. Show you in there. there, right there, so that way it holds on the back, because that's the opening, so I can get the babies out. That's this is the where they go in. So I got the strut that goes from the ground, or from the front of the box to the middle, and then I put the brace towards the back, because as you remember the beginning part, I have a brace for the front, so I'll need front and one for the top. I took some silicone after I drilled the hole like I did the front, like I showed you, and I put silicone there. Actually, it wasn't silicone, some kind of liquid nail, and then I put washers up against this, so that way it glues the washers to this. Then I don't have to worry about it getting all wet and everything else too, because everything will be just fine the way I'm doing it. Yeah, I know. I'll fix that in a minute. I haven't really messed with it because I'm going to do something else. I'm going to put the door there. So for right now, this is what we're doing. Alright, now that I got this bracket on, I end up having to put 2 more bolts, nuts and bolts on it. I'll put one here and I'll put one down there because it wasn't stable enough with just the U-bolt there. So I did the same thing I did with the U-bolt. I just drilled a hole. I put some of that liquid nail, keep it watertight, and I did the same thing for down there. And as you can tell, I don't have nothing hanging in there other than that. But all my bolts and everything are all sticking up through the top. That keeps the birds from messing with them and trying to be able to unscrew them. And if something happens and they start flapping and going all over the place, they don't get cut. I've done my best to make sure that there's no way, nothing in there that can get cut. Oh shit. I gotta get rid of that. But I've been doing my best trying to make sure nothing, they can't get cut through anything, so. That's so far, and I'll show it mounted because I'm waiting on my wife to help me mount this here in a little bit. As you can see, I got the door on. I took that aluminum and made a little cap on there, so there ain't a problem. And I took some hinges and put them on there. And I took these and use them. I'm probably gonna put a lock on there too, but for now that'll work. Keep nosy ass people out of it. They're gonna get into it, but they're gonna work for it. I pre-drilled these. Make sure you buy some good bits. I bought a bunch of cheap bits, and I've done probably messed up 10 of them after I broke them because I only need a certain size. So it is what it is. Get an exterior door hinge. Don't get interior because the pins come out easy. This here, the pins are not removable. So you need an exterior door hinge. You can get the little one like this, or you can get a bigger one. I went and bought these because they wanted too damn much for the bigger ones, and I can't find my other ones. So that's where that is. Now it's time to go put the box up. Alright, now as you can see, I have some insulating foam around here. I put up the top to where it overhangs here and here, because you want it to overhang these here, and then you want the sides to overhang the bottom. That helps make it watertight. So when I shut this door and this squeezes, it makes it 80% watertight. This is what I used. You should be able to pick it up at your local hardware store, like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. You can get black, whatever. The color doesn't really matter. What matters is the waterproofing. As you can see here, it shows everything of what this product does. So, wasn't too expensive, and I was going to try something else to run it into the channels, but then I still have to waterproof it anyway, so I just did it the outside. That's it on this. Next thing is I gotta put a perch for outside the cage, outside the nest box, and I gotta pull the box to the cage. So that's it for now.